Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The United Nations and Ethiopia have agreed to allow aid into the country's Tigray region, which has become the centre of a month-long conflict killing hundreds and displacing thousands. A UN spokesman said an assessment mission will begin later. There has been no word so far from the Ethiopian government. Food and medicines are said to be running out for millions of people in the area. It comes after Ethiopia's state media has reported that a top official from the Tigray People's Liberation Front has surrendered. Karia Ibrahim is one of 9 executive committee members of the TPLF forces that have been fighting government troops for the past month. 3 Hong Kong democracy activists have been sentenced to jail for their involvement in mass protests last year. The trio, which include Joshua Wong, one of Hong Kong's most prominent democracy activists, had been found guilty of unlawful assembly. The pro-democracy movement has been stifled since Beijing introduced a controversial security law with harsh punishments. Wong has received a sentence of 13.5 months in jail, while Chow and Lam will be imprisoned for 10 and 7 months respectively. The US Department of Justice is set to look into claims that lobbyists tried to use bribes to secure a presidential pardon. The redacted findings do not give any names, but the Justice Department says no government official is being probed. The news comes a week after President Donald Trump pardoned his former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, who has been convicted in 2017 of lying to the FBI about his contacts with Russian ambassador.
This went on for 20 hours.
American news outlets reported that Mr. Trump has also discussed with advisors the possibility of pardoning his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, and his family members, even though none of them have been accused of any crimes.
We're going to win Pennsylvania.
Meanwhile, US Attorney General William Barr has said that his Justice Department has looked for significant voter fraud but has found no evidence of it. Mr. Barr said that he has uncovered no voting fraud on a scale that could have affected a different outcome in the election. The Justice Department has also debunked the president's claim that voting machines have been programmed to skew the election results, as there is no evidence of that either. The United Kingdom is the first country to approve the Pfizer-BioNTech coronavirus vaccine. Britain's medicines regulator, the MHRA, says that the vaccine, which offers up to 95% protection against COVID-19 illness, is safe to be rolled out.
It's approved as clinically safe by the regulator.
The Health Secretary Matt Hancock said the first 800,000 doses will be available in the country by next week. Elderly people and healthcare staff are set to be the first to receive it. The UK has already ordered 40 million doses, which is enough to vaccinate 20 million people. Aid agencies say a low-cost strawberry-flavoured tablet for children living with HIV will be rolled out in African countries next year. The UN estimates that only half of more than 1.5 million children around the world that live with HIV receive any treatment. The bitter taste of the antiretroviral medication has made it difficult for young children to take it. It is set to be the first generic pediatric version of the HIV drug and will also be available for babies. China has landed on an unexplored area of the moon, the first attempt from any country since the 1970s to collect rocks from the satellite. The robotic spacecraft has started to drill into the surface of the moon to collect soil and will stay until Thursday before returning to Earth. The mission makes China only the 3rd country to successfully reach the moon after the United States and the former Soviet Union. One of the world's largest radio telescopes used to monitor the stars for more than half a century has collapsed. The telescope featured in the James Bond film GoldenEye in 1995, when Pierce Brosnan as 007 famously scaled the structure during a fight. The 57-year-old telescope at Puerto Rico's Arecibo Observatory suffered damage in August and had been deteriorating since. Scientists from around the world use the telescope to look for signs of alien life and study distant planets. And finally, Israeli cow herders have ditched herding dogs for flying drones to boost efficiency. Drones have been used to give a better aerial view to the herders and also create a less stressful environment for the animals, as the buzz of the tiny rotors is more gentle than a dog's bark. The drones also allow the cow herders to have much larger pastures thanks to the advantage of the view that they can offer. It's hoped the new technology will increase profitability as big herds can be more manageable. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.